For this next part, we're going to set up the branding page. So we've got the resume set up. So let's go to the About Me. And for the branding, that's going to go under your personal brand. What's going to show up here is going to be your logo. It's going to be your business card. It's going to be any other thing you're going to place your logo on. You need to have at least 2 additional things to place your logo on. So with this, what you're going to need to do is, let's go ahead and do personal brand. And what I would like to do is I'd like to have, just to add some interest to this, I want to still have this process part because you have to write your reflection for how you created the logo. But what we're going to do is let's go ahead and go back to one of these other project pages. And let's go ahead and move these process photos over. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to move, copy, and I'm going to go to personal brand. Now, what I want to do is I want to put in, the final version of the logo here. I'm going to go to edit. Nope. Every time. I swear you'd think I would remember. I'm not. All right. So from here, I'm going to come in and choose the final logo, which is this one. Then I'm going to place, not edit. Come in and put in the sketches. I'm going to move some things around here in a minute because I'm really thinking towards the idea of what is this going to look like when you present it, because you're not going to have nearly as much time as you would like. You're only going to have 5 minutes and there's a ton of stuff to go over. So this extra stuff that you're adding in, you may not even really talk about in detail at all. You might have it in your reflection, but it might be something that they actually look at either before or after, because I'm going to provide them with a list of the URLs to your websites. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling everything open here. I'm not really putting them in any specific order right now because I'm going to be able to edit that in just a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling in the Pinterest board. I'm pulling in the drawings. I'm pulling in the variations that were made. I'm pulling in any of the pieces that were worked on through the development of the logo itself. So I'm continuing to go through, and then we'll talk through how to organize these things, because we're going to actually add more photos to this as well. And I'm going to show you how to pull out the pieces so that they make a little bit more sense. So right now I've got the sketches, but before that, the research side, the planning side, whoops, I pulled that out too far. Let me pull it there. To begin with, you started by doing the personal profile. So that's something you can talk about, is identifying words that you associate with yourself, and you can explain what those words are. Then you went into your Pinterest board and found a whole bunch of monograms that showed different ways of connecting the letters together. And then you began to draw. Then from the drawing, you did the variations, and then you had your final version. And in this one, she can actually talk quite a bit about the fact that hers changed significantly from where it was at originally. All right, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go back to the project. Actually, no, we'll do here. We'll go to move. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. And I'm going to copy it to personal brand because I want a second copy of this, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete. Actually, no, let's go ahead and put the business card here. So I'm going to replace this one, and I'm going to put the completed business card. So with this, this one happened to be 2 sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace this image over here. And I'm actually going to move these around at some point. But for now, I'm going to continue. Actually, you know what? Let's see. For this one, let's go ahead and pull these apart. And delete those out. All right, excellent. So now we've got the big business cards. Now what I want to do is down here, I've got this spacer. What I'd like to do is I want to add in the other image that I'm going to use. I'm going to put an image here, upload, and I'm going to upload one of the additional elements that I'm creating using a mock-up. So I'm putting this out as a sign. So we've got the business card, we've got the sign, and then maybe you'll add in a third one that is like clothing, or maybe it's on the side of a truck, or something that may be related to the job that you're actually interested in doing. Like hers is sustainable tourism. So I thought, hey, this would be great to have a sign outside of a building for sustainable tourism. Now, one of the other things I want to do is I want to go ahead and add in an additional photo because I took all that time to make the mock-up. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that one in here. That's not the one I wanted. Kick out of that. Clicking way too fast in here. Where did I save? Not sure where I saved that business card. Oh, I only saved it as a PSD. Sorry about that. Here's the file that I actually want. I want to actually save this as a JPEG. It's not letting me do because I've got layers. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten this. Now I want to do save as. There we go. Do a JPEG. Now this part here, this one is not required, but I just think it looks fancier, which means when you present it to people who don't really know that it's not that hard to create something like that, they're going to be like, ooh, wow. Which is kind of the reaction you want to have for the most part. I have a tendency to be a little extra. And then we will add in one additional element, one additional mock-up of something where your business card has been used. And I've got a whole list of things that you could potentially use. So if you have questions or don't know what else you could possibly do, just let me know and I'll help you. I'm bringing these spacers down here. By bringing this spacer, it gives me the ability to kind of put it in between. It's just like a little bit of a buffer. And then this would be one where I would put the logo on something else. So that is what you're looking at for your personal brand. And in fact, let's go ahead and take this one and pull that separate so that it goes with personal brand, what the process was to get there, and then the three items. In my instance, I only have two. The three items that you have the logo on. Could be a shirt, could be a sign, could be something else that you create. It's totally up to you to decide what really is your brand and what would be the best way to showcase that. And that is what you will do for your personal brand. I'm going to change this color because I don't like that gray.